Hello everybody, it's me again, the monkey. Bet you missed me, didn't you? Well, today we're going to show you how to install a water pressure gauge on your pipes. That's in case your water pressure is too strong in the house and destroying your faucets and causing leaks and all of that kind of thing. So you can sit back and enjoy it, learn something good, and fix your water pressure in your house at the same time. So enjoy the show. And by the way, I have a joke. Anybody want to hear it? Anybody? You want to hear it? All right, here it goes. Get ready to laugh till a Coke comes out your nose, or a banana split in my case. Why did the monkey cross the road? Because it was the chicken's day off. Well, that was a good one. So, like, subscribe, comment, you know the routine. And I'll see you later on the Klaus Restoration channel. Goodbye. Okay, what this is this hooks on your water line, because you could hook it anywhere on your main water line. What this is it controls the pressure from the city water to the inside of your house, because the city water usually runs on around 150 psi, and that's what you're getting in your house. But it don't need to be that strong. It'll mess up your faucets, make your faucets leak and everything. It's that high so water can go high up in 3, 4, 5-story buildings, and so the fire department can have enough pressure when they hook a hose to a hydrant. But if you in your house, you should get one of these. When you buy these, make sure it comes with a gauge. Some of them don't. And there's the top screws off, and you can stick an Allen wrench in there to control the pressure. But they usually always come preset at around 40 or 45, so you shouldn't have to mess with it. But if it don't, then you can turn it. And it also comes with a cover here to protect so dirt and stuff won't get down in it. It's even got a rubber seal on it. You want to remove that and keep this, don't throw it away. And then put your thing on here. And then what you'll do when you get it on is you'll take it, and I'm going to demonstrate. You can put it anywhere. Like this is the main line, which it actually is the main line. You can put it, which of course I'm not going to put it here, but you can put it here and then watch your pressure and then regulate it to 40 or 45. It's usually what you need, and save your faucets in your house, because you don't need that much pressure.
You need to get some adapter for me.
And you need to get an adapter. I'm getting a PVC adapter to screw in each side, and then I'll cut the pipe. My wife said put it up there somewhere. So what I got here, this is going to control the pressure to the house, the water pressure. They want this, because anytime you have water pressure to your house from city water, it's going to be really strong, because it's in case a fire truck has to hook to a hydrant, or a building's really tall, it has to have enough pressure to push it all the way up to the top of that building. But the building's too tall, they have to get a pump.
What you put in your house?
The way up. But the reason you want to put this on your house is because like right now there's way too much pressure going through this pipe from the city water. This here will control that pressure. You put this on, it's got a pressure. You can read the pressure here. You want it around 40, 45 pounds. It usually comes preset. But if it's not, you take this lid off, put an Allen wrench down in here, and you can turn this left or right to regulate the pressure. And this will stop all that pressure from destroying your faucets, blowing out your pipes in the house.
I know our pipes keep blowing up many
And
times
we got
already.
a pipe around back that's already blowed out about 3 times because of that pressure.
Now when they off the water here, then when they come back, the
We're going
air
to turn the water off.
shoot like crazy,
The
right?
water's turned off, but there's still some in here, so we're going to cut this pipe slowly and let that water bleed out of there. But first, I'm going to go ahead and set this thing up. I'm going to go ahead and use this Teflon. This is really good Teflon. This is actually heat-rated Teflon. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap these. I always end up wrapping them backwards. Every time I wrap it, I wrap it the right way, then I put it on. It's wrapped around backwards. So if I get this backwards, you don't need to make no comments about it because I already know it's probably going to be backwards, at least one of them. So been doing plumbing forever and I hate it. Every time I do it, I can't stand it. Something I don't like doing. Something you gotta learn. If you hire a plumber to do something this simple, they're gonna charge you a fortune. Plumbers are a bunch of crooks. If anybody out there is a plumber and gets offended by that, if you're not a crook, don't get offended. If you are a crook, then by all means get offended as you want. But if you're not a crook, then you don't have to get offended about it. But with my experience with plumbers and people like that, so you can put my Teflon on backwards.
It is backwards.
Yeah, it's backwards.
Why not redo it?
It's already going in now, it's alright. As long as it catches.
No matter.
Yeah, it don't matter. But any time that you can learn to do something yourself, it's an asset because you don't have to depend on other people to do stuff for you. Because you may need your water real fast if something happens to it. You go get a plumber, well he ain't home. Like an electrician. You can learn a little bit about electricity, but not much because I'm going to kill yourself. Sometimes I go get my electrician. He's out with his mistress. So I have to wait. Call him in I know we don't know who he is. I called him in the bushes a couple of days ago, texting his mistress, had to hide from his wife. See, that stuff like that is hard to get a hold of because he ain't never home.
Shut up.
When I called him in the bushes, he got out of there pretty quick. So I was wearing a body camera, but he thought his wife was going to see.
Hey, that's too much. How many times did you roll it?
I don't know, I'm too busy talking. See, I put it on a different way. I should wrap this from the reverse side every time and get this thing on there right. But sometimes my brain don't work that way. So you want to set this up. Make sure you get a good drip. So you have to keep wrapping it over and over again. That's the way it is when you do plumbing. You got to make sure you got a nice leak on it. Oh, it's kind of loose. Make sure you want a nice leak on it. That way you can use a lot of swear words when you come back and repair it 3 or 4 times. But usually it works out right. It works out pretty good. Sometimes you'll have a problem with it. So learn this simple stuff. Now, I'm not saying go out there and act like an electrician if you've never been to school and fry yourself black. End up smoking, look like a cartoon character. I'm just saying do stuff that's not that bad. Do stuff you know you're not going to kill yourself on. A little bit of shock therapy is fine. Don't kill yourself. So nobody say that one guy on that channel said to do this or do that. I'm not telling anybody to do anything. I'm just saying learn a little bit about stuff. I'm not saying go out there and think you're a professional when you never took a class in your life. I'm saying the small dinky stuff. So now we're going to use this pipe cutter. This is made to cut pipes, believe it or not. That's why they call it a pipe cutter. Who would ever thought that a pipe cutter would have cut a pipe? But it does. Now we're going to cut it a little bit slow. If I can get it in here, I may not be able to get it in here. I might need to use a hacksaw. And I'm probably going to end up the hacksaw route because I can't get this out enough to cut. But anyway, I'm going to go through this pipe at least get a hole in it. At least that pressure, if there's any left. I already got it cutting down in there. I'm going to have to go ahead and get that hacksaw.
Off it.
See, I already sawed through it some, so the water's already coming out. Some of that pressure's been released already. I was hoping the pipe cutter would work. It cuts a lot cleaner cut and it's perfectly straight. Sometimes if you can't pull the pipe like this, it's really close to the house, you can't really pull it out real far. Sometimes hacksaw won't even work. You have to use a, what you call that tool in there. You have to use a different tool altogether. Now sometimes you'll have to cut your pipe, a piece out of your pipe, because you're adding to it. You're adding to it about 1/4 an inch on each side. Sometimes you have to cut that off your pipe. With this one, I don't think I have to do that. I think it's got enough pushback.
That's not. Got pushed that back.
So this pipe here's got enough pushback in either direction. I'm making.
You sure?
They have to cut a piece of that off. See, it's going to squeeze in there. It's going to push that back real far. I'm going to cut some of this pipe off for this one. I'll just cut a piece of this one off. Cut some in on it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a piece of this one off. Probably about here. And then go ahead and get that stuck in there.
Off it now.
Okay, the next step, we're going to sand this down a little bit. What this is going to do is get rid of those burrs that are sticking out on it. It's also going to help the pipe adhere together a little bit better. If you don't got sandpaper, then you'll need to get these burrs off with something to get it off with scrape it off with a knife or something. Just scrape the side down a little bit with a knife. You want to do something to rough this up a little bit and get rid of those burrs at the same time. Do it on both sides. We put the water regulator on there. Now those water regulators come in, they look different. They all don't look the same. Some don't look the same as the others. Some can be a lot bigger than that one, but still do the same exact thing. Some can be smaller, the same exact thing.
Think it stay.
You don't need to run out and try to find something that looks exactly like somebody else's. Wipe it off. You don't have to use these, but let me tell you, you're going to be in a world of hurt when that water pressure starts messing up your faucets and your water in your house. You don't need that much pressure in your house. Now this is regulatable anyway, so if you want more pressure, you can put it. Now the next step is extremely important. You need to pay attention to the next step. This has an arrow on it. That's the way the water is flowing. So if the water is flowing into your house, it's flowing into this house from that direction. So you want the arrow to be pointing in that direction. If you put it in backwards, you're going to stop your water flow. It's not going to work. You're going to be thinking, well, that thing don't work. It does work. You put it in wrong. So water flow is there. Arrow is pointing there. That way when the water comes from this direction, it goes into the back, it goes through this and out the other side. You can look inside of it and see the difference. You're going to block your water flow if you do it the wrong way. And when you put this on, don't just slam it in there and say it's done. Move it a little bit. Make sure that your solvent gets mixed on it good, mixed around it good. Now the solvent that I buy does not come with a
We still got water like we'll wipe it.
It does not come with a dipper. Lean it over, dump some more of that water out.
The other one
The
too.
solvent that I buy does not come with no dipper here or no wool end on it. So I have to use a stick. Dry that back off. And you don't need to use a boatload of solvent. I got somebody do some plumbing here before. I didn't do it. Used the whole can of this on one thread, on one piece of pipe.
Lies.
You want to put it around here, make sure you get it good. You don't want to wait forever. The stuff's going to melt your pipe. If you wait too long to put your other piece on, this pipe's going to start deforming some. You're not going to get a good
The
connection.
backside lang, bigat nung bang.
You're not going to get a good connection. And the reason you turn it when you put it on is make sure
Check the other side.
the reason you turn it when you put this on is make sure you distribute this solvent good, because there may be a spot on there that you missed.
Main, the backside, you pull the pipe.
Then that's fine, going to work. So we'll put this in. Like that.
We're hurry up and get there, the other side.
Put this in. See, already acting up. See, my pipe turned too much and this part didn't turn with it. So now it's going to be sitting funny. So we'll do this one like this. Turn it like that. Rotate it both the same way. Keep this away from the wall a little bit. It don't matter if it's sitting a little bit sideways. It don't got to be straight up and down. Now when you take this off to rotate this, it's got an arrow on it, plus and minus. This is going to increase your pressure. This is going to lower your pressure.
There is.
Everybody knows what plus and minus means. Plus means add, minus means subtract. So you're going to add to your pressure, you're going to take away the pressure, so plus and
What do
minus.
you use to adjust that one, Allen wrench?
It says stick a little Allen wrench down in here. You can turn it right here. Real easy. But this should, hopefully this is preset. I'd rather not mess with this thing. So hopefully it'll be preset. Put a little bit of a turn on it.
I hope the
Also
rain-
help
the-
this thing not also help
Listen,
this
I
not
hope the
collect
rain
dirt
drop.
and debris.
Listen ba?
See, if this thing's pointing straight up and down, then this thing's going to get a whole lot of dirt on it.
I hope that rain in there won't splatter in there. It's okay to get rain.
So that's okay. So that's that for that.
As long as it won't get dirty.
So we'll wait for the solvent to cure, turn the water back on, and the water pressure should be lowered in the house. Should stop the problems we're having with blowout on that one pipe around the back at least. And I never had any blowout on any other pipe, but we had a couple of faucets because of that pressure mess up, and it destroys the ring inside of the faucet in the house, and then end up having to replace that faucet. Because I bought a really good kitchen faucet, I don't want that to happen to that faucet, because that faucet's ordered, and you can't buy them, and then it's a lot more expensive than those plastic ugly faucets that you buy. So that's all there is to it. Simple, easy, nothing hard about it. So if you're having too much water pressure in your house from your seeded water, then definitely install one of those, and you'll have no problem. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, become a Patreon if you want. That's how I can keep making videos like this. And more support I get, the better the videos will be. Thank you for watching. This has been a production of the